Next up, at UFC Mexico, we have Rafa with an R. It's not Hafa. He's not Brazilian. He's Mexican. Rafa Garcia, and he is taking on Vinc Pichel. Rafa Garcia is 16-4 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that finish loss to Grant, the most boring guy in the UFC roster, Lawson. He's taking on Vinc Pichel. Vinc Pichel, 14-4 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is on an unfortunate 2-fight skid.
It's Vinc Pichel. It's Vinc Pichel.
Vinc Pichel taking on Rafa Garcia. Rafa Garcia. The breakdown I'm about to give you is more of a historical Rafa Garcia breakdown, because who he has been as of late is not who he was originally. But Rafa Garcia, good grappler, heavy hands. He used to be an absolute dog. He would be wildly exhausted, could barely hold his head up. He was so tired. And he would still move forward, grinding, bombing away, trying to make stuff happen.
Do you want to give a little backstory on why you're about to blow this guy right now?
Oh, yeah, it's the next slide. We'll get there. Rafa Garcia used to be a dude that you could count on to go out there and fight his ass off and grind. But then there was the turn of the century. All of a sudden, he's a little inactive, not fighting as often as he used to. Didn't seem to have that same dog in him that he once used to. He seems to be more of a jabbing striker now than when he was a grinding, just in-your-face dog wrestler. He's coming off that TKO loss to Grant Dawson, who was able to take him down, control him, and then ground and pound him away. He's taking on Vinc Pichel. Listen, Vinc Pichel has one of the coolest nicknames in the UFC, but also some of the thinnest skin in the UFC. Nickname is Vince from Hell Pichel. Phenomenal, 10 out of 10. But he's the kind of guy, you make some comments, you question his abilities at 49 years old, whatever the hell he is, and he lashes out on Twitter. Calls you a binary, non-binary, soy boy. When he
says you, he's talking about you, not me. I didn't say shit to me.
It's anybody on Twitter that didn't think he was going to win his last fight.
You called him a fraud.
I did not call him a fraud. I was unbelievably
You said his mustache is fake.
Dude, I can't grow a mustache. Who am I to say somebody's mustache isn't fake? He should be sliding down a fire pole with a mustache like that. That's a great fireman mustache. The reality is Vinc Pichel is a good fighter. And this is what I said last time I broke him down. Vinc Pichel is tough. Vinc Pichel is a very good fighter. He's got good jiu-jitsu. His takedown defense sucks. It's only 25%. He's been taken down 24 times in the UFC. But his offensive takedowns are pretty solid. He averages 3 per fight. He's tough as shit. He's not somebody you're just going to get out of there. He's always in phenomenal shape, and he's always ready to go. But he's older. He's slowing down. Can't quite keep up with the young guys, and that's what we saw in his last fight against Ismael Bonfim. Ismael was just literally a little bit faster, a little bit cleaner. Vince was durable. What was that?
Hubbard gets it.
Hard bar?
Yeah, he gets it.
Oh. Well, don't worry. We'll get there. The reality is, Vince and I do have a little bit of weird Twitter history. Just like I'm filming this video right now in this moment. We talked about the fight. I picked against him in his last fight. I said Ismael Bonfim's going to win this fight. He's younger, he's faster, he's cleaner, he's got a good jab. Uploaded that to Twitter. Vinc Pichel lost his mind. You non-binary soy boy. You're pathetic. You're a Democrat. Just literally spiraled wildly out of control. Outburst after outburst. And I said, Vince, calm down. Calm down, like when you grab a woman real strong. What did Sean Connery say?
Sometimes a woman needs a good slap.
Sometimes
I don't think that's funny at all.
Sometimes a woman needs a good slap. And when Vinc Pichel was wild and erratic and just losing his mind, just calm down, Vince. Pah! And I said, Vince, why don't we just grapple it out? Let's just have a fun grappling match, $500. I forget how much money. $500. I forget what it was. If you submit me, I'll donate to your charity. If I submit you, you'll donate to mine. Very simple. Charity, fun, good, clean content. Should be good. He said, let's do it. Man voice, man stash, the whole thing. I DM'd him. Nothing. I got nothing back. The reality is, I am going to pick him to win this fight. And not because of the Twitter outburst.
Real quick. You sent one DM. And you were real clear you were not going to follow up. You could have kept following up. When are we doing it, Vince? You sent one DM and was like, hopefully he doesn't see that.
I don't give a fuck. If I lose, I lose. I'm supposed to lose. I'm supposed to lose. It's for me, it's a win-win. I get why he wouldn't want to. 6'3", 265 and a quarter, fully clothed at 8 o'clock at night after eating a meal. So I get it. The reality is I am going to pick Vinc Pichel, though. I think Vince has the durability, which we are all 100% positive. We've seen it time and time again. I think he will be in unbelievable shape. And unless Rafa Garcia has completely transformed who he has been the last 2 years, he's not going to be the one grinding forward, getting in Vince's face, taking him down. The takedown defense, not great. That is the problem. But I do think Vinc Pichel can win this fight. I'm picking him to win. I'm probably going to do a prop bet. I don't quite have the nerves to do a straight money line bet, but a win inside the distance decision, no action, makes a ton of sense for Vince, maybe even plus and a half. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'm picking Vince, and I'm not a fucking pussy. I bet him as well. And I reached out to my dude, Cody Brundage. He trains with Vinc Pichel there at Factory X just to check in. How's the vet looking, you know? And he said he's feeling good. He's healthy. You know, health issues has been a big issue in the past, but he's healthy now. He's feeling good. And I think if he's going to win a fight, this is the one he's going to win. And people will be like, hey, bro, dude, he's 42, bro. Hey, he's 42, bro. That's everything that everyone said about Jan last week with Ulberg. And Ulberg is fucking 10 times the fighter that Rafa Garcia, dangerous, everything. Dude, he's 42. Dude, he's 42. And then Jan went and arguably won that fight. Rafa Garcia is not fucking dangerous. He needs to fucking wrestle to really dominate this fight. And again, at 8,000 fucking feet, he's not going to be able to shoot takedowns nonstop. And once he starts getting sloppy and this turns into just a brawling boxing match, I will take fucking Vinc Pichel in a phone booth boxing match against Rafa Garcia in the middle of the octagon 100 out of 100 fucking times to just get in there, get nasty, and just stay fucking dirty to pull out this fucking decision win, which is exactly what Vinc Pichel is going to do. If not, maybe even find a submission, because if the pressure gets a little bit too much for Rafa, right? And he's kind of trying to default to the wrestling. I know Vinc Pichel, you're going to be like, dude, Rafa Garcia's never been submitted. Bro, Vinc Pichel has never submitted somebody, right? Oh my God, that's a crazy bet. It is like plus 2,500, right? Oh. It is a crazy fucking bet. But sometimes there's a little bit of crazy popping out of these nipples for UFC Mexico.
Dude,
right?
What?
Because when you get 8,000 feet and you get a non-dangerous grappler that's getting sloppy, shooting bad takedowns against a fucking black belt and Vinc Pichel, who maybe hasn't really gone for submissions in the past, but all of a sudden the neck's right there and he's tired and he wants to get out of there. He wants to party in Mexico City. Eat his taquitos, have a beer, right? You just snatch the neck, the fight's over, and we all go home happy. Vinc Pichel wins. He's going to win by submission.
Listen, listen, you and I are both on the same side here, and what I love about that is we don't consult each other beforehand. I do my picks probably like 5, 6, 7 days.
I would never consult you.
It's weird because I pick at a much higher accuracy than you do. That's strange.
I think
you think
underdog
you would
is
consult?
better than you pick anything.
Congratulations, you pick good underdogs.
You can't pick minus 400 favorites as well as I pick plus 200 dogs.
You pick one. Tell you what, starting this minute right now. First of all, you owe me fucking money because I was right last time in a pick. What's the one on this card?
The second that you pay me, I can pay you, and I haven't been paid, so.
It's not the end of the month. Second of all, this is what we're going to do. We're both going to pick one fighter each card from now on and see who gets more right. Because you won't do the who picks more right on a card challenge with me because I keep fucking smoking you in that.
I do it every time you ask.
Yeah, I know. We keep tying is the problem.
Because it usually only comes down to 2 or 3 fights.
That is a problem. This card we're wildly split, or no?
I actually don't know. Let me see.
I don't either because it feels like we're split based on the arguing, but we both, the last 2 fights, we were on the same side.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different. So more.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's enough to do it. Anyway, Jakey Boy and I are both.
But usually when we're different, it's I have the dog and you are the favorite. That's the issue. Literally, that's every pick. It's hold on.
Why is it an issue? If you trust your picks and I trust mine, who cares?
I have the dog. You have the dog.
Because I picked
the dog. What was the 5th one? Yeah, I've got The dogs. Oh yeah, because I have Miranda too. Yeah, so I got like plus 300 dogs, and Angela just picks all the favorites and just trust the process.
Okay. All right. Anyway, my picks go out before his do. So when I pick a dog and then he happens to pick the same one, then he gets all the credit in the world. Somebody picked it much earlier. Him and I are both on the Vinc Pichel side here. And if
for different reasons, I actually think he's going to win, and you're just scared.
I think he's going to win. I said he's going to win, but
yeah,
I'm scared to do a money line bet.
No, you're scared of him is why you're picking him. All of a sudden, you went from this guy's a fraud with a fake mustache to, I think he's going to win.
If you can produce a clip of me saying he's a fraud or has a fake mustache, I'll pay you whatever you want. Produce that clip. You'll get whatever you want.
Somebody fucking put that on
Produce
Twitter,
that
please.
clip. I'll give you whatever you want. Simple. Because all I did was compliment him, and then he fucking lost his mind when I picked the dude 15 years his it's not elder. What's younger? 15 years his. Anyway, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. All the picks, all the bets, all the tools, everything that we do. $6,700 for Vinny. Honestly, that's decent DraftKings money. The fact that he is this big of a dog is crazy. Hoffa's not a finisher. Vince is insanely durable. This fight, in all likelihood, goes to a decision. And then on top of it, it's kind of a competitive fight. It's not like Rafa has been a killer lately. These odds are actually shocking to me how insanely wide they are. Does somebody thank you for your service?
I just sorry for there's truth
just
in
felt
there.
Patriotic.
If you're an active, a former member of the military, let me know. I'd love to salute you. I know Angelo doesn't like to do that stuff, but I would love to salute you.
We got a couple of super chatterooskies. $4.99. Here's the Michael MacArthur one we kicked. Two-parter. Who does Poirier fight for his last fight? And if in New Orleans, can we get a commitment? Y'all will be there. This includes you too, Big Anch. Ooh, New Orleans is close. I've actually never been to New Orleans, ever.
Close. I think it's like 9 hours away.
By car. It's like a 45-minute flight. Like, it's close as shit. I've never been. Have you been?
I drove kind of through it when I moved here, but no, not really.
Get that kid out of here. I've never been. Get out of here.
It's an hour-and-a-half flight.
Yeah, that they include the buffer so they don't get fined by the FAA. That's a 45-minute flight.
And bags don't fly free anymore. I'm never flying again. I'm doing John Madden, taking the bus everywhere from now on. Do you know who John Madden is?
I do, and I do know that he was afraid to fly because what was
he known for? Two things he was known for.
He was a football coach and then a video games.
Who did he coach?
John Madden. Steelers.
Jesus Christ.
God, that was a decent guess though. Who did he coach?
The Raiders.
The Raiders? Here. I used to be terrified of flying. Now I fly a ton. I have to fly for my job. I fly for We Want Pick. Like I fly a ton now.
Sport. It's at the game.
I used to be terrified of flying to the point where at one point in time when I was like in my mid-20s, Glover Teixeira wasn't Glover Teixeira, right? He wasn't who he is now. Him and I were training together with a bunch of other people, right? He was in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut. We were just training together, whatever. He fought for the WEC. This is before UFC gobbled it up. In one of those fights, or in his second fight ever, or something like that, Chuck Liddell was cornering, maybe it was Ed Herman. I forget what the circumstances were, but Chuck Liddell saw Glover Teixeira fight and was like, this dude's a fucking animal. Went up to Glover and said, I want you to come out here and train with us in California. So he went out and trained in California, came back and was like, hey, Luigi, who my jiu-jitsu coach at the time was, like, Dan, Angelo, if any of you guys want to come out to California and stay at Chuck's house and train, you can. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And at this time, the Chuck Liddell was Chuck fucking Liddell. And I had the flight booked, had the full invite, everything. And I didn't go because I was too afraid to fly. Pathetic, sad bullshit, 100% true story. From that point forward, I just sucked it the fuck up and started flying. So, it did suck.
Can I ask you a question? And this is kind of serious. I know that you're kind of on your tangents, listening to your self-talk, and you're really enjoying it. If you are blind, okay, how do you know when you're done wiping?
I think you have to, like, you do a wipe, and then that's the only way to know. What's your theory?
I don't know.
I think you have to give a little.
Isn't it always going to kind of smell? Your asshole
no,
always kind of smells.
But when you smell blood, you know you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so clean.
You stand to wipe, right?
I actually do. And I know that's
too.
like,
No,
okay. Thank you.
It's
Good.
very normal. Yeah.
People were,
I don't
I don't know if it is because people were like, when people found out
why would you
you're going to reach
over?
your hands.
Yeah, why would you lean over and fucking just stand up? Just stand up. It's very easy.
You don't got to tell me, man.
And look, you stand up, you ain't got to do anything. Instead of sitting here like fucking
Dude, you don't got to tell me. People had a real problem with me when they found out I stood up to wipe. It was like controversial. It's like, what are you you dip your hands near the shit in the water? That's how you do it? That's crazy. So, good. I'm glad. This is finally something I'm not finally. Because people don't agree with the blow drying shit. So at least they agree with this. $1.99 from Brian with a Y. Brady shirt would have been fire. Saturday, I was promised. Did you owe people some Sean Brady shirts? Thank you for the $1.99.
No. Everyone there's like, dude. The only thing I said is if you won, I was going to buy 10 shirts. I spent $400 on shirts, and I said I'd try to give them away, but it's a difficult process. Some people got shirts.
It is difficult because I did that bet openly giveaway. I said if I hit this plus 1,000 parlay, I'll divide the money, and I did hit, and I did divide the money. Dude, it takes forever figuring out who's a liar, who's not a liar. Oh, my God.
When JDM smokes Bilal, and then if Sean Brady gets a title shot and JDM smokes Sean Brady, because we all know it's going to happen because JDM's the best 170 on the planet. It's not even fucking close. I'll get all those Sean Brady shirts in a pile, and I'll fucking burn them.
That'd be fun entertainment. Let's watch it. I will say, I do like Sean Brady a little more now. Not for beating Bilal. Who cares about that? The interviews where he was
Bilal,
like...
he says, thanks. I mean, this is the kind of stuff.
Sorry. For beating Edwards. But it was more for everything that came out, the interviews he did after, where he was like, fuck Leon Edwards and that bullshit. His whole camp, they're all arrogant assholes. Like, that just felt so real.
The comments after were right. It's like, where was that? You waited until you won to be all chest out. You could have had that energy when it was happening in real time.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's true.
It was happening in real time, and you just fucking ate it, waiting until you won, and then you said, I wished I would have done this. I wished I would have. You could have. You could have. He was talking all that shit right before all the face-offs and stuff. You could have done something about it then, but you waited until you won, and then you're
That's a good point.
Oh, you waited until you got back to Philly, and they were like, fuck them. Oh, fuck them.
That's a good point. You know what? I didn't even see it from that perspective. That is a good point. Because he was like, if he was going to put that water pistol, I was going to fucking... But you're right. That's a good point.
Because he was talking all that shit during the week. He was talking about Bilal. He was talking about how short he was and stuff and this and that. And now Sean wins, gets back to Philly, and was like, I told him I wasn't short.
No, he did say, I am short. At least what I said.
He was like 195 pounds or something. 198 pounds he was in there. See what he said?
Sean was?
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
He's a thick boy.
Yeah. Oh, here's the... Jesus Christ, we're this far behind. Here is the DM. It says, hey, Vince, easiest way to get a hold of me. This is after we agreed in a Twitter thread. We agreed already. So I said, I'm going to shoot you a DM. He said, okay.
This guy's at the firing range. He's not on there checking Twitter DMs.
He was checking Twitter DMs, calling everybody a soy boy non-binary. He was. He literally was.
There's a difference between notifications and DMs.
Well, then take it up with him. He's the one who started all these fights for no goddamn reason.
Here, I'll make this very easy right now.
There you go. Set it up.
No, let's go back. No. Go back to the slide real quick. I just want to take a picture real quick.
Okay, hurry up.
Now do double middle fingers.
No,
flip them off. Oh boy.
Okay, let's go.